Hi everyone, I'm going to make an art journal page, and in continuing from my last video that I showed you how I made these two hot glue gun stencils, I want to use them. So I want this one to go down here in my page. I'm using a water color paper that I've already gessoed, and I'm just going to make some kind of a line here that goes with my stencil, because I want to start with some kind of color here and then build on it. So I'll start with this. I've got here acrylic paint, white and dark turquoise, and that's what is going to go down here. Let's see, I'm just picking a little bit of the turquoise. And I'm just going to color this whole area with this color. With the white, it almost turned light blue. I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe I'll add a little bit of something more green, or I'll just leave it as is. Doesn't really matter. Before I forget, the stencils from the hot glue gun that I showed you at the end how I flattened them so it will be easier to work with. And I wanted to tell you also that because you flatten them with an iron, then each line is getting thicker because now it's pressed down. So once it's dry and once it's cold, of course, you can go in with the dainty scissors and you can do some fixing. And I'll show you in a minute. Here we go. I have got the bottom done, and let's see, here is the stencil, and of course each line went thicker once I've pressed it with the iron, and if I want it thinner I just go in with nail scissors like so, and I can trim and do whatever I want. Here we go. So this is another option, and I think I need something a little bit more green in my color here. So I'm taking, this is ocean green from Deco Art, if it will go down. Let's see. Just adding a little bit, because with the white it turned out too bluish for me. More of it. Okay. Trying to be quick about it. The things I do at midnight. At least I'm not turning into a pumpkin. Okay, that's a better color for me. And now I want to go and do this part of my page, and I want something that would be a little bit grayish, blue grayish. I don't know. I've got navy blue from Deco Art and the white, and I'm gonna try and add some gray here. This is something local that doesn't even, from the cheap store, doesn't even have a name for it. It's just light gray. And we'll see what I can do with it. Let's pick a paintbrush and taking a, it's not soft enough. I need another brush. And let's try this one. Taking a little bit of the blue with the gray, and here we go. I'm just dipping lightly into the blue to add color to the gray. I don't want dark blue here, just to tint the gray. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm just, as you can see, I'm changing the direction of the brush strokes because it creates movement and interest, and that's what I'm going for now. I'm adding a little bit of white. I prefer to have the edges darker and a little bit more light towards the center, so that's why I added the white here, and I'll probably add a little bit more as I continue. And if I don't like it, I can always come over it with another layer. I need more of the gray. Trying to make some kind of line and disguise it with the movement of the brush. I only dip the corner of my paintbrush in the blue. And now here we go, adding the white here in the center. It's a good thing that I gessoed my page, that now the page won't absorb the moisture from the paint, and I have a little time to play around with the blending of the colors. Yeah, okay. So here is the start, and now I'm going for, well, it's still wet. I need to blast it with the hair dryer, and I'll be back. I'm back. This is dry, and here is my stencil, and I've got here black, gray and white, and I'm going to start playing with the colors in the hopes that I can create some kind of stone effect. I'm starting with a darker gray by taking a little bit of the black and the gray, and it's not, I'm not planning for each hole that there is here in the stencil. I'm just trying to put the darkest color to the left, just so when I will add the lighter colors there will be some kind of dimensionality effect, but it's not something that is really planned. Let's hope it will work. And it does help that now my stencil is flat. Of course it's not any kind like the commercial one, but nice all the same that I made it. So I'm trying to blend and add more colors and just trying to achieve what I said, a stone effect. And I'm hoping that once I will remove the stencil, the cracks will be in the greenish color that I have underneath. And once I'll put down my focal point, you will understand why I wanted the cracks to be green or greenish. It's a wonder I can still talk at this time of night. So basically I'm working it and putting down the color, and now I'm adding a little bit of the white again, just randomly, in the hopes that I'll have the stone effect. Let's hope so. I'm thinking that even if it won't be really precise, then I can always get in after this is all dry and use some markers to define all the lines that I want more defined. Okay, removing. It's nice, but still needs more. So I'm going to move it aside, and this needs to get dry before I'm attempting any kind of putting markers. As you can see, the cracks are a little bit more than what I wanted, so I will have to add to each of this. And now let's try using this stencil here, and this time I want to use some ink pad. I've got Memento Nautical Blue and a makeup sponge, and let's hope it will work. If not, I will use again, I will try, and if it won't work, I'll use an acrylic paint. But this doesn't have to be correct or anything, it just needs to add to my background. Okay, as I said, there is still a problem with the lines being thicker than any kind of other stencil. I need to go in with scissors and make them more thin, but for now that's what I'm going to use. It's not an optimal solution, this kind of stencil, but it does gives more options. Okay, I'm leaving it be for now, and as I said, this needs to dry, so I'll be back. I'm back. So I wanted my stones to be a little bit more bigger and the spaces between them thinner, so I just moved a little bit of my stencil left and right and added a little bit more with this stencil, and now I'm just going over the edges of my stones with a Stabilo oil just to make them more defined, and I also want to smudge it a little bit just to soften the overall look of things. So I'm just going to do this for a while, so I'll be back once I'm finished going over all these stones. I'll be back. I'm back. So here are my stones. I had to work a lot on it, but I achieved what I wanted. It looks a little bit flat, but for the sake of whatever is going on this page, I will live with it. And I want to add interest here, and I've got this is handmade stamped from craft foam, a thick craft foam, and I'm putting from the gray acrylic paint in hopes that it will show. If not, I will take another color. Yeah, it works. And I just want to add to my background, and now I'm thinking I really like it, so to help my background I'm going to continue stamping this, and then I'm going to try mix it with a little bit of white and continue stamping only with a lighter color. Here we go. So a little bit of white here, just using my finger. It doesn't really show much, but I think in the end it does give some effect, and it doesn't need to pop and to be in your face to add interest to the background. Here we go. Maybe just another one. Yeah. Okay, I'm leaving it be for now. Maybe I'll add later on. And I've got me a new stamp of flowers, and I just stamped them on the same kind of paper. This is a watercolor paper, and started painting them with watercolors, and this is one of them. I've already fussy cut it from the page, and this is what's going to go on here. And I wanted the cracks or whatever is here to match the stems of my flowers. So that's what was the reason behind this color. So now I'm just going to take some glue and glue it down. This is it says it's mixed media glue. It's a local brand from the cheap store. By the way, it smells, it's like an thick thousands. the smelly glue. I don't know, but what I do like about it, that it has a really thin nozzle, and I can go into really small spaces with it. But it really is smelly. Here we go. Okay, this needs to dry, and I'm thinking I want more definition around it, and I want some, don't know how to call it, but just taking a very thin black pen and just going around it, but not with a straight line. I just want to make it like a doodle, and I hope I'm explaining myself something like that. Freehanded, it's not working, this one. I need another one. Let's see. Well, I think it's because the paint is not really dry behind. I'll wait for it to dry and I'll come back. I'm back. So I just went over the edges and scribbled, and didn't try to be precise, just wanted interest, and as you can see I can still add more and just have a crooked line all around my flowers, like so. Don't really care, just wanted more definition, and I wanted the crooked line. And now I'm going to use, I've got these stamps again, this is just scribble or whatever, nothing defined, and I'm going to use this on the background, and I hope it will connect with what I've done here. Randomly. And I'm going to use another one. I'll bring it closer to the camera in a minute, just so you will see what I've been up to. It's really in the small details in the background. Here we go. And last thing I want to do to my page is ink around the edges, just to frame everything. And I need a makeup sponge, and just going around the edges of my page. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll be back, and then I'll also show you all the little details. I'll be back. I'm back. I've inked around the edges. I quite like how everything turned out. I'm going to move it closer, and I hope you can see all the little details in the background. So here it is. This is my page. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it will give you some ideas. And thank you for watching. Thank you for leaving me comments below, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.